Good evening, everybody. Welcome into Wednesday night workshop with Build A Quilt. Excuse me, I've got a little frog in my throat. Welcome in. I am Diana. So nice to see you all this evening. Pardon me. Tonight is Wednesday night workshop. I'm sorry, I'm a little frazzled. It's been a very long and technically disastrous week for me. Today's Wednesday. Monday, all the sound on everything went away. Still don't know why that happened, but it's back. Today, I've been trying to do something here on YouTube that I'm supposed to be able to do, and everything looks like it's connected, but something isn't working properly. So I'm like bleary-eyed and kind of just done in for the day. So sorry about that, but we have lots of stuff to go over tonight. Actually, I'm not sure that we'll do a whole hour tonight. This is pretty quick. So before we get started with our regular cartoons and stuff that I show, let me make a couple of quick announcements for dates. So, Tuesday, the 25th of November. That's this coming Tuesday. That is week 4 and the last week for our beautiful star chart quilt along. So let me see it. I'm pretty sure I have the picture here. That's the quilt we're making. This week we're working on the second half. We've got half of it done already. That's just one big square so you can see kind of what it looks like. And when you put two of them together, like this is the center. It's turning out really beautiful. I love it. So anyway, this coming Wednesday, the 25th, will be the 4th and final video for that quilt along, but you can still get the pattern. And everything you need is in the pattern on the website, which I'll share with you later. And then the 4 videos will be here on the channel, and they're now on the website as well. I have added them in both places. So if you like to visit the website and you like to see the videos, it'll bring you here, but you're still seeing them from the other platform. So if you like that better, then you have that opportunity. And so that's next Tuesday. That is the only thing next week for like actual events and stuff, because Wednesday next week is Thanksgiving Eve, and we're not going to be having Wednesday workshop because I know if you guys are like me, you're trying to get food pre-made, you're welcoming in maybe family or friends or visitors for the evening, or who are coming to stay, or you're traveling. So I know how that gets. So next Wednesday, no Wednesday workshop, but we will come back on the 3rd of December, which is the very next week. Yeah. So I won't be seeing you anymore in November, but I'll see you in December because it's just the week after Thanksgiving, right? So the very next Wednesday, we're back. We're moving on with the 13th block of our Build a Quilt 24 block challenge. I'm sorry, guys. My brain is not functioning tonight. You're going to have to excuse me. Anyway, before we get too far into that, if you are with us tonight, if you're new, welcome. So glad to have you here with us at Build a Quilt. And if you are a returning visitor, thank you so much, guys. I love having you back. Please, in the comments, just sign in. Tell us who you are. Maybe tell us where you're from. Love to say hello to you as well. And here we have somebody with us. Our good friend Kathy. Hi, Kathy. You made it. Yes, dear, you made it. So glad to see you. So go ahead, just sign in, let us know that you're here, that kind of thing, and then I can say hello. But as I was saying, next week, which is the week of Thanksgiving, no Wednesday workshop. But on Tuesday will be the 4th and final video of our star chart quilt along. Okay. Pattern with the digital files included is available at the website. Let's just go ahead and put that up here now. Right there, you get everything you need. The digital files, the how-to, the cutting, the fabric, all of that information is on there. And then you can just watch the 4 videos and you'll be scooching right along. You'll be good. So that's what's coming next week. Now, I am trying this weekend to get a video filmed and edited for you guys that's just a fun one. Just nothing serious, something that some of you have been asking about. Dave, but I need Dave to film it. And so hopefully we're going to get it done this weekend and I'll put it out next week. Now, there is something else I want to tell you, and then we'll get started with our cartoons and stuff. Next week, next Friday, there will be a video, maybe 2 videos come out that have lots of upcoming information. So on Friday, we're just going to be having a bit of a sale in the shop at the website. So you'll want to see that little video, see how you can get different goodies, different things, all of that stuff, and what you can save on and stuff. In fact, we have a sale going on, which I'm going to tell you about, that started today. I'll tell you about that in a little bit. So there'll be a video about that. And then there is going to be a video which is going to be all about 2026's Quilt Lab. You don't want to miss it, okay? Because it's a big change, but it's a good change. It is a change that will include everyone. So some of you have wanted to do one thing, some of you have wanted to do another. This is going to allow you to do it either way. So just hang on with me. Just next Friday, that video will come out. I might even put it out Thursday evening if we have it finished edited. So those are coming out next week, but no Wednesday workshop. We come back with Wednesday workshop the very next week, which is December 3rd, and we'll be on block 13. So tonight, guys, we're halfway through with our 24 block challenge. I'm very excited about that. So let's go ahead. As you come in, as you join, please comment and let us know who you are so we can say hello. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started with, I have 2 cartoons for you tonight from I forgot to put the thank you for this group, but they're By the Yard is this company that puts these out. I know they do like literal calendars and cards and things like that. So if you're looking for something fun to give at, say, a white elephant or something for your quilting guild or something, try to find one of their calendars. That will be the gift everybody's grabbing all night, I'm pretty sure, because it'll be a good one. So this first one says, I'm thinking of quitting my job so I can just quilt full time. And the machine says, she has a very chatty sewing machine, this gal. But then who will buy the fabric? I'm used to a very high thread count. So that sewing machine seems a little maybe high maintenance, right? They only want the best fabric, but who doesn't, right? We all want the best fabric. I thought that was kind of funny. So I'm sure that if she quits her job and quilts full time, she'll find a way to still get that good fabric. Sewing machine doesn't need to worry about that one, right? So Kathy thought this was funny. Yeah, I thought it was kind of cute too, Kathy. And I know that this must be on the sewing machine. This must be like a pretend name of the machine, or maybe it's a signature of the artist or something. But to me, in my eye, it says Sam. So I always call this sewing machine Sam. So Sam wants to make sure he's got some good thread count. And I don't blame him. So, and she's got her coffee there. So yeah, I thought that one was a very cute one. Now we can move on to number 2. I can't decide which shade of red to use. You guys have had that problem, right? Should I use crimson, cabernet, claret, carmine, or cerise? What should I use? And her husband says, or the gentleman says, we're going back to the fabric shop again, aren't we? Now, you guys, I know you have been in this position before, and it does happen a lot with red. Red is something that you've got to have the right red or it doesn't really work, right? Kathy says, Sam reminds me of a dog. Oh, yes, Kathy. Kathy says that the sewing machine here that I call Sam reminds her of a dog. Yeah, he would be kind of a cute puppy, wouldn't he? But this one, we've all been there, right? We get out the reds and we're looking for just the right one. We don't have it, even if we've already been to the shop that day. back we go. We go to the shop again. Yes, this is By the Yard. So check it out. Their website is up at the top of this, www.bytheyardcomics.com. Go check that out. See what's going on over there. But I thought this one was funny because Dave will say that to me sometimes. He'll say, do we need to go back to the store? And he's willing. But he doesn't really, he doesn't really want to, but he's willing. But we have to drive 2 hours to a store. So that doesn't happen much to us. If I don't have it, I either have to order it or wait till the next time I go to a shop. But I thought this one was really cute. And I'm actually thinking I like some of the red color that they used in those little fat quarters she's got going on there. I like some of those reds. Like I would put all those reds together in something and it would turn out to be gorgeous. Yeah, I love that. So Kathy says, speaking of red, have you seen the new French General line? Ooh la la. Oh, Kathy, that's exciting. No, I have to say, I have not seen the new French General line, but I am marking it right here on my little note. I ordered something and I found out today they sent me a thing saying what I ordered didn't have all the fabrics in it. In the fat quarter bundle, and I hadn't unwrapped it because I don't unwrap them until I'm using them. And so when I went to look at it and counted it, sure enough, I'm shy a couple of fat quarters. So I guess they'll send them to us or something. But I have not seen the new French General, but I like French General. It's a beautiful fabric line. Typically, I've always liked it when I've seen it. So I will go check that out. Thanks a lot for the heads up, Kathy. She says, ooh la la. Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, thanks, Kathy. Yeah, I will for sure look that up. All righty, so those were our cartoons tonight. Remember, guys, if you find cartoons or little sayings or whatever, and you want to send them to me to show on Wednesday workshop, please feel free to do that at the email address support@sewuncommon.com. Just one thing, though, when you send it to me, please tell me where you got it or who the artist or something is, because I need to give credit. It's not for me, it's a mandatory thing. I'll just say that. So if you send it, just give me that information so that when I show it on Wednesday night, we can give credit too, right? Because those folks, they work hard too doing their art, and we should support them. All of us artists should support each other, right? Okay. So, but send them if you got them, because sometimes I can't find a lot of things that are new and updated. But I will tell you, this By the Yard comics, they keep coming, and they're really specific for what we do. So I've been loving those. All right. I told you a few minutes ago, guys, that we have a sale going on. Now, if you're a subscriber at the website, you should have gotten an email from me about this earlier today. I can't remember. Sorry, my brain isn't working. I think it was today. Anyway, here we go. So you guys know we have 2 combo sets, right? There are these 6 segment pieces: the square, the half square triangle, the quarter square triangle, the flying geese unit, the split rail, and the diamond in a square. So the basic combo set, which is our standardized sizes, come in 3, 4, and 5 inches, and you get 3 of them. I think it's the square, half square, and quarter square in the bonus size of 2 inches. The mini basic set, which is our newest set, comes in these small, teeny tiny sizes, 1, 1.5, and 2 inch. So they're 2 separate sets. Right now, we have a sale going on that I'm sorry, I'm looking at messages over here. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you for that information, dear. Right now, the sale started today. It goes through until the 1st of December at midnight. If you purchase the basic combo set, you pop that in your little checkout, in your little cart. Then you can purchase the mini basic set at 50% off. So that's a huge savings. That is going to go from now until December 1st. That's a great savings. You'll have both of the sets. Both sets are completely downloadable. In the comment section below, or in the description below, are links, so you can go straight to them. If you don't want to go to just to the website and to the shop, you can get there that way as well. But you can get them. With both of these sets, you literally more than double the amount of quilts and quilt projects you can make. And you need at least one of these sets to make our 24 blocks in our block challenge, and some of our other as well. So those two are on special right now, and I wanted to share that with you all tonight in case you aren't. So if you're not a subscriber over at the website, go check it out and subscribe. So just go to the website. Down at the bottom it says like subscribe or email us or something like that. That allows me to send you out stuff. That's where I send out like information to everybody, right? When a pattern is up, I send it to the pattern is posted now, or if we're having a sale, anything like that. So if you haven't signed up over there for this to subscribe, do that just so that you can get this information, because that was sent out today. But I wanted to let you all know about it tonight in case you're not, because I know we have a lot of new folks here at Build a Quilt, and I'm so thrilled. I'm so glad to have you all with us. And you might not have subscribed over at the website, but I wanted you to know about this, because this is like the basic and the basic combo set and the mini basic set. That's like your segment library. That's your go-to place for Build a Quilt. Now we're going to be having some more sets come out. All of our sets will work together, but those two, the bigger sizes and the littler sizes, those are your core, right? Instead of your library, think of it as your core, because you're getting the 6 most often used segment pieces, and you're getting them in 3 sizes in each of the sets. All right, so I wanted to share that with you guys today. If you have any questions, drop a comment, send me an email, whatever you want to do, that's fine. Okay. So let me see. All right, we talked about that. We did that and we did that. I mark it off my list, just like Santa. You guys getting your Santa wish list ready? Getting that time. Okay, so I thought we would do a quick, let's see, where is it? Is that it? Yeah, I thought we would do a block review, because tonight we are on block 12. And if you look on this little slide, you'll see block 12 in there somewhere. If you've been following along with us, you'll know which one it is, because you will know we've already done all the other ones. But I thought we'd do a quick review of the blocks, and we're going to do it. Oops. There we go. We're going to do it the way we do things here at home. We have this saying here at home, zip, zip, zoom. That means if we're doing a task together or we're doing something, if somebody says zip, zip, it means let's get it done. Let's move this along. And you guys know what that's like. You start a project, somebody has a question, and then somebody else wants to give their opinion, and somebody else wants to give their opinion, and then everybody wants to give their opinion, and then you're talking it through and debating and blah, blah, blah. And then it's an hour and a half later, and a 10-minute project has taken you an hour and a half to 2 hours to do, right? So if we start getting that way, zip, zip, zoom means, yeah, stop, we're done. Let's just move on with the project. So I'm going to do it that way. I'm not going to talk about these because I've talked about these before in last week's video. The video for this week is out, by the way. So I'm just going to show them to you and tell you what week they are. You can find all the introductory videos that I've done on Wednesday nights in the live tab here on YouTube. And there is an independent video for each one of them out there by the block number. So block number 1, still everybody's favorite. I love that you guys love that block. Block number 1. Block number 2. Block number 3. And if these blocks had additional things that came with them, like a layout for a quilt or how to expand the block, anything like that, that's all in the free download information I'll share with you in a minute. Block number 4, block number 5, block number 6, block number 7, block number 8, block number 9, block number 10, and last week's block number 11. So 11 came with a free quilt layout information for that one. It was in the download. Now, what do I mean by the download? Well, let me tell you here in a moment, because you want to see block number 12? This is block number 12. It is the maple leaf. It is my version of the maple leaf. Yes, this is looks kind of like a chunky stem, but there's a reason for that. So we'll go over that more, but I wanted to share with you. So in order to get your digital pieces to make this, that is the, that's these, right? That's why you have to have one of those sets or both in the sale, but that way you get the digital files, the how-to videos for them, all of that information. That's why you need those. But there is also a free download that tells you which block number it is and shows you the picture in the fabric and all of that. If there's anything additional with it, it might say that on there as well. And then this tells you, gives you the layout information, how many colors you need, all that kind of stuff comes in this. And this week, there is a quilt layout again for this block. And I'll go over that with you in a little bit. But if you have any questions, please pop them in the comments. And I'm happy to answer them while we're here. So this is our block. You could call it the maple leaf, right? Or just call it a leaf if you want. But this is this way, and you'll see in a minute why. Normally, you see leaf blocks, and the stem area has 3 pieces of fabric, one thin piece in the middle and 2 background pieces on each side to give you that thin kind of a stem look, right? I did this way because it's going to make a difference in the quilt that you can do. Now, regarding fabrics, this is a Lori Holt fabric called Bee Cross Stitch. If you're interested, I know they're still available. This one is in butterscotch. We'll talk more about those in a minute. And then the background fabric, although I could have done it in cream or something like that, I chose to do it in this kind of a grayish Moda Grunge fabric, which I had. I like that as a background. It gave it more of an autumn feel. If you want to do a cream or something, it could give it more of a spring summer feel to your block or to the quilt if you make the quilt. But this fabric, the Moda Grunge, gave it definitely more of a warm autumn feel, and that's why I chose it. But there's only 2 segment pieces in this block. The square, so you're going to have 3 squares, and then the half square triangle. The 2 easiest of all the blocks to do. And this one is the one that's used like 99% of the time in every quilt that ever gets made. Somebody has a half square triangle in there, but those are the only 2. So you have 2, 4, 6 half square triangles and 1, 2, 3 squares, right? Only 2 colors. When I show you the quilt is in more colors, but I have a couple of other mock-ups in fabrics that I've used in some of our other blocks so that you can see what it would look like if you took and made the quilt in just 2 fabrics. Because sometimes when you take away color and just use 2, your pattern blends a little differently and you get slightly different look to it. And I think you'll be able to see that a little bit when I show you that. But this is it now. I'm doing of course, all of my blocks were 9 inches because I'm using the 3-inch segment pieces, and those 3-inch segment pieces come from the basic combo set. The standard size is 3, 4, and 5 inches. So that's that one. I've used the square and the half square in the 3-inch segment. Okay, when you make these, if you have the mini basic set, you can make this block as small as 3 by 3 inches by using the 1-inch segment. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 1-inch blocks, and you will get a 3 by 3 piece. If you're into mini quilts, this mini basic set is definitely going to be your best friend. So if you use the basic combo set with the standard sizes, then the largest piece, the largest block you could make would be 15 by 15 inches if you use the 5-inch segments. Okay, so that's kind of how that goes. So I chose the 3-inch, which gave me 9-inch blocks. I find the 9-inch blocks are kind of they're a good standard sweet spot of a size for a block in a quilt. And when we get done with all 24 blocks, we will have a week where we're going to talk about layout. You don't have to use that. Making a quilt from these blocks was not the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal for these blocks is to get you used to using Build A Quilt, getting used to mixing your segments, getting your skills built up to kind of that intermediate level, right? If you can do these, you can pretty much do everything. We're going to be having some more skill building, and you're going to find out about that next week, next Friday. But that's what these were mainly for. They were also to give you a start on those, what I call those bonus blocks. If you have blocks sitting around, you want to put together a quick small quilt. If you have a stack of blocks, find the ones you like, put them together, and make a beautiful scrappy quilt. I do it all the time. In fact, check out our bonus block video because I talk about how I decide or how I end up getting bonus blocks without even having to think about it or worry about it. So check that video out, and you'll see how it goes. It's the bonus block video. So this is my maple leaf. Now, I would typically have done this in red and a white background for all of my lovely friends in Canada. I have some really beautiful friends in Canada on both coasts. I have friends out in Vancouver from when we lived in Seattle. I have friends up in Montreal and in Toronto. And so we have visited Canada since the Olympics were in Canada back, was it 76? Because we went to the Olympics, but we stayed up there for a while. It was one of the most beautiful places, best family vacation we have. And Dave and I have gone up there a lot. We really love it there. And so typically when I do a maple block, I do it in honor of our friends in Canada. But because I wanted to show you this in an autumn colorway, I decided to go ahead and use the bee cross stitch. Now, in Lori's line of bee cross stitch, this is the cross stitch with the colored background and the cream colored X's or crosses on there, little cross stitches. There is also bee cross stitch, which is the cream background and the color are the little X's. So you could decide to do that, kind of do a negative idea if you wanted to. But there are a ton of colors in this, and you're going to see it. In fact, let me show you the pattern for the quilt that you get with this. And then I've got a couple of alternative pattern mock-ups for you to see so that you can see how changing it up into just 2 colors works. So let's bring in this. I call this quilt the feather crown. This is it. And so this is made in all of the color, the red, the orange, the gold, and the green. So I think the red might be called crimson. I'm not sure, but it's the red bee cross stitch. The orange, I think, is actually called autumn. The gold is called butterscotch, and I think the green was just green. But this is it. Now, in your download today, you get basically 2 sheets of information on this quilt. So let's come back up to here. So there's one page in here. It gives you the larger picture of the quilt. And then down here, it's going to tell you what is the smallest size you can make this quilt and what is the largest size. So if you're using the mini set of segments and you're using those 1 inches, you can make this whole quilt and it will be 12 by 12 inches. What a lovely, sorry, what a, I don't want to whisper, but what a lovely mini quilt that would be, 12 by 12 inches. If you're using the 5-inch segments in the standard sizes, this quilt is going to be 60 by 60. That's a full-on size quilt, right? That's a lovely quilt top cover for a king-size bed, like a coverlet. It's a great size for a young child. It's a great size to lay across the sofa and to snuggle up under. It's just, or if you've got that perfect size wall, you guys know I'm always about putting those perfect size quilts on the wall. I love it with squares. This in that bigger size, or the next size down would be a great wall size too if you use the 4-inch segments. So this layout is a little bit different than the layout from last week when you just made a bunch of the same blocks and put them together and they all turned out. It turned out like kind of like magic. This one is a little bit different. So you have one more page, guys. So this one is going to tell you what you're going to make and how many in this way and what you're going to make and how many in this way. And these are different because when you put them together, 2 of them make the top half and 2 of them make the bottom half. And you've got to be able to rotate them into the proper position. So this part down here will show you the position to put them in. So you're going to make your 4 blocks. So that is 4 of your leaf blocks right there, each one of these. And then this will show you how to lay them out, make your 2 sides, and there is your quilt at the bottom. How you quilt it, what you use for backing and binding, that's entirely up to you. I did not put that in here because I have no idea what size quilt you'll end up making. But that is the additional piece you get. So there's a little bit more to this one than there was to the quilt we did in the pattern last week, but I wanted to make sure you saw it and knew that that was in there, the feather crown quilt. That's what I call this one. So let's look at this now. Here it is in the original. Here it is in these 2 colors. Now, these 2 colors, let me bring back here. We look back here. The 2 fabrics I used in that mock-up were this one. That is a Kimberbell fabric. And well, these are all Kimberbell fabrics. And this one right here. Okay, so this is the darker part. That's the lighter part. Now let's go back and look at it again. There we go. So the darker fabric makes up, I guess you could call it the design part, and the lighter ends up making up the background. Now you can't see it as well in this mock-up, but it will look like this looks. In fact, let's go back up here again to the full camera. See this block right here, everybody? That's those 2 colors together. So there's much more texture and all in this than you're seeing in that flat mock-up picture that I did. These just go so beautifully together. You would love it. But let's go back to it again, because what I want to talk about is how that looks a wee bit different from our original one, like that. In this one, you're definitely seeing the feathery idea of it. Everything is changing because we have so much color there, and it's lovely. It's very autumn looking. But if you brought this down to 2 fabrics and you made the design dark and the background light, that design just really pops out. But because the background is blending all together, you're actually getting like a T block. You're getting almost a secondary block here. You're getting a bow tie here. And this quilt is not put together any differently than the original one is. But you start to get some very secondary and tertiary patterns in this quilt. And I think it turns out beautiful. That was one mock-up alternative that I did. And then there's another one. And this is fabric from, hang on, where'd it go? There we go. This is the fabric that I used on last week's block. It was that fabric there. This came from a layer cake called Winter Wonder. Last name was Peterson, Nancy Peterson. I can't remember her first name, but that is that same fabric. But that is it with a very light background and the this snowflake fabric as my main pattern fabric. And it looks a bit different than the other one too. You get a completely different look in your secondary and tertiary patterns, the way this one is laid out. All three of these mock-ups that I've shown you are laid out exactly the same way, but you really get a different look based on your fabric. Okay. Now in the one that I showed you before, this one is very dark and a medium fabric. So your lightest fabric in here is still a medium value. And then the very dark. Okay. But with this one, it is a very light background and kind of I would call this a medium to dark, but probably more of a medium value for that snowflake fabric. But this would be lovely at the holidays. Instead of a feather crown, you could almost see that as like one big, huge snowflake. I thought it was really pretty the way that turned out. But if you're not wanting that warm autumn kind of a look, which we have in the very original, this one here, take this down to 2 fabrics. Any 2 fabrics you want. Try a really dark background and a really light pattern and see what that gets you. I think that would be beautiful as well. Excuse me, I have something in my eye. So that is the alternatives for you. You don't need to do the pattern in the original multicolored layout if you don't want to. You can take this down to 2 colors. And I will tell you, I think some of the most beautiful quilts I've ever seen are 2-color quilts. They're not complicated. They tell a beautiful story. This fabric in this one and in the other one, the print really gives you texture and movement to the piece. Your eye can move all over. You can look at it one way and see one thing and another way and see it differently. So I really love how that looks. So these 2 right here, these 2 mock-ups are not included in the pattern. I just did them to show you what they would look like if you took the original pattern and took it down to 2 colors. So I could do that with this. I could use the Mode of Grunge and I could choose one of these 4 colors, say the butterscotch, and make it in 2 colors using these same fabrics. Just instead of using 4 of the fabrics, use 2 of the fabrics. Here's another thing you can do. You can decide that you want, say, these side pieces, your cardinal position pieces, the north, the south, the east, and the west. You can decide that you want those all the same color, kind of like the center is. If you do that, when you lay out your mock-up, choose 2 colors and a background, and then place them however you want them to give you that 3-color look. So you have kind of 1 color in the center, 1 color in the middle, 1 color in those 4 outside pieces. That's another way to do that quilt, okay? All righty, everybody. That is our block number 12. Block 12. And this is it right here. So this one is fun to do. If you're new with Build a Quilt, this is a very good block for you to start out on. It's very easy to make. You really learn the process very quickly with this block. If I were going to add another block to this one, like if this were my base block, but I wanted like an alternative block to go with it, you could put like these two types of blocks. Maybe I should turn that around. There we go. Together, this could be your alternative block in there, or even that one could go with it as well. I mean, you would figure out your fabrics, right? But those two could go together. And that's the other reason we're doing the 24 block challenge, is so that you guys can learn how you can put different blocks together. You can make a 2-block quilt or a 3-block quilt, whatever you like, but you've got some pieces made to help you figure out what you want to do. And that type of thing is what's getting into layout information. And on our 25th week in the challenge, we will be using these blocks to talk specifically about layout, because Build a Quilt is just that. You can make someone else's pattern using the Build a Quilt system, absolutely, but you can make your own quilts, and it's pretty easy to do, and it's a lot of fun. Think of it like a puzzle. Okay, you've got puzzle pieces. How are you going to put them together to make those beautiful looks? It's a lot of fun, guys. All right, everybody, you can see down here in the little corner, I have my Happy Thanksgiving little overlay there to wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving. If you're traveling, please be very safe. If you're driving, if you're flying, I hope you get to where you're going and home in a reasonable amount of time. And I'm not talking about like what's been going on recently. I just don't travel at the holidays, because you could never, I have never gone away on the holiday and gotten home when I was supposed to, not a single time. So if you're traveling, I wish you safety and that you get to your place and back home when you're supposed to. Okay. So, but have a great Thanksgiving, everyone. I know, in all honesty, everybody, I am so thankful for all of you. I'm thankful for your company, your friendship. I love building quilts with you. I'm thankful so much for your support. And I hope you all have lots of yummy dinner. May I suggest that if you have a moment in your day or the day before, maybe you think about volunteering at a shelter or something like that, and or through maybe your local congregation if you are a member of a church or a synagogue or a temple, to give that thanks back a little bit. That's what the first Thanksgiving was about, right? Different groups coming together and sharing with one another. So I like doing that. So I always just put that out there. If somebody's looking for something to do, somebody can always use your help on Thanksgiving Day or the day before, for sure. All right. Oh, thank you so much, Kathy. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. All right, everybody, we're going to be done a little early tonight, so you can get off. Go over to the website. Let me put that up one more time. mybuildaquilt.com. You can get your free downloads for all of the 12 blocks so far. And don't forget, the digital sets that you need are on that special. Oh, one thing I should tell you is that the mini set will not show as on sale in the mini set will not show as on sale on the product page. It will show the sale price in your cart, okay? That's because if you just go and buy the mini set, there's not a sale price for it. You have to buy both to get that 50% off. So I wanted to make sure that was clear so nobody said, oh, it's not showing on sale. It will show up on sale in your cart. All right, everybody. Again, thank you so much for your support, your friendship. I wouldn't do this without all of you guys. It was so much fun to be with you every week and to make these patterns and to talk quilting with you all. So great Thanksgiving, lots of yummy food, spending time with family and friends. And I will see you again on the 3rd of December, which is the 12th month. And Tuesday, the 4th video for our Star Chart Quilt Along comes out. And then there will be some special videos throughout the week and some on Friday. Okay, until next time, everybody, you know that we are all artists as quilters and we make the world beautiful. So go out this week, Thanksgiving week, and make the world even more beautiful just by being your beautiful self. And then go quilt life beautiful too. Until next time, everybody, have a great rest of your week. Bye for now.